Cisco, what's wrong, baby?
Remember the space guy who paid me all that money to do that thing?
Yeah?
Well, I missed the goddamn thing!
2. Cisco provides us with security credentials for the maintenance tunnels.
Rick and Space Beth fought the Gromflamites in the second episode of Rick and Morty Season 8. However, Rick's inner man never appeared, and the post-credit scene showed Cisco's actual fate. It was shocking to hear Rick exhibit such faith in a figure we had never seen before, especially since he rarely puts his trust in others. Space Beth also points this up. The main character seems surprisingly adamant that Cisco would appear and carry out his plot as planned. Yet Cisco doesn't appear until the most recent post-credit scene in Rick and Morty Season 8. Thankfully, with the assistance of some well-known characters, Rick and Space Beth were able to adapt and defeat their enemies in the end. But it raised issues about why Rick had such faith in the first place. Rick is not renowned for being overly dependent on others. Season 8 has continued to highlight his shortcomings. This suggests that something significant must have transpired for his ally to turn against him. Ironically, Cisco's true motivation for being absent is far more consistent with Rick and Morty's typical dark comedy, and he will be anxious to keep Rick from learning the truth. Cisco didn't help Rick and Space Beth because he took too many drugs in Valkyrick. Rick might have thought Cisco had a family issue or another similarly plausible reason for his absence, but in reality, the character had simply forgotten the objective due to drug abuse. In the post-credit sequence of Season 8, Episode 2, Cisco awakens in a panic, realizing that he has missed the task that Rick apparently paid him for. Cisco frantically puts on some clothes when his companion Sandy inquires about his condition, and then he says, "Remember the space guy that paid me all that money to do that thing? Well, I missed the goddamn thing." "Does the space guy know you have a drug problem?" Sandy asks, to which Cisco replies that he didn't before he met her. Cisco gladly takes the additional medications that are supplied to him after he apologizes. It's just the kind of bizarre joke that has brought Rick and Morty Season 8 such positive reviews thus far, elucidating the mystery surrounding Cisco's absence with a dash of fun. Although drug addiction is a serious subject in and of itself, the animated series took a lighthearted tone and provided viewers with an unneeded but resolution to the story of the supporting character. It seems like Cisco truly wanted to assist Rick and Space Beth, as seen by the fact that he put on his uniform as soon as he remembered his pledge. However, his overindulgence likely caused him to faint, which is why he missed the entire task. Cisco's hilarious cameo sets up future Rick and Morty appearances. The Cisco humor creates the possibility of further Rick and Morty appearances, even though it was only a corny joke to help end the show. Following up on apparently pointless jokes like this is nothing new for Adult Swim's popular program, and there are a ton of entertaining ways to have Cisco return. In the series, Rick might have to rely on Cisco once more in the future, with the protagonist being particularly confident that he will deliver this time, only for the same scenario to occur. Similarly, if Rick confronts Cisco about his absence, the latter can disclose his drug use, which could result in an unforeseen moment of emotion. Given that Cisco refers to Rick as the space guy, and Rick's faith in Cisco shows they have a long-standing relationship, it could also be fascinating to look into their past together. It would be fantastic to have Cisco reappear in the future, and he might even end up becoming one of the franchise's most enjoyable supporting characters, regardless of whether Rick harbors resentment or fully forgives his comrade.